الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور أما بعد. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most magnificent, the most beneficent, the most merciful. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his ni'mah and favors that he has bestowed upon us. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the divine guidance, the tawfiq, and the life to be present in this gathering today. I think we completed the topic on the previous discussion, right? I can't remember what the last thing was, but today we're going to start the topic of which we were supposed to start the topic of on arrogance and pride. Musannif alayhi rahma, I think the way they compiled the notes previously, the person who compiled these question and answers, they tried to categorize all of those in regards to the controlling of the desires and the controlling of the gaze. They tried to concentrate them and try to put them in one section. Now, we have some miscellaneous. Because the student says to the teacher that I wrote to you a while ago, in which I presented to you my state, in which you said that whatever you are currently doing, whatever is in your routine currently, please continue it, and that is sufficient for you. And don't be hasty, and don't worry about anything. As you have prescribed, I am continuing, and it's been benefiting me greatly. But something else has taken place by which I am very shy to tell you. I am very shy to tell you, but something else is happening inside. And my self does not wish me to disclose it to you. Myself doesn't wish to disclose it to you. And haya is becoming a great impediment. I feel shame in presenting this before you. But with this thing in mind, that maybe there's a possibility if I did not tell you, there's a possibility this disease might increase inside of me. And due to that, I am disclosing this to you. And also, if it does increase, maybe that warps and becomes into something else, and then something else starts happening. So because of that, I think it's best for me to disclose it. It's been a while now, but I feel some effects of arrogance have come into my heart. I'm just saying, people are now naturally arrogant, naturally, continuously, daily arrogant. We don't even feel it creeping into our heart. But the students of one time, they were cautious that even that I think I'm becoming more arrogant now. Because it seems that when somebody is younger than myself, or somebody who is in a class that is below me, not class meaning class, a class meaning in school, in college, in university, I feel that I feel shy to answer their salams. I feel shy to sit down and talk to them. I feel something inside of me that I should not be sitting with them. I feel I should be sitting with my own classmates. I feel shy to sit with those people who have enrolled in school, which are I'm in a more senior position, they're in a junior position. Because those things that were very easy for me before, I was it was chill for me to sit down with them, have a chill, have a chat. But now something inside of me seems to prevent me. It's not like complete prevention, but I feel something that is developing in my heart. I feel shy. Answer. a person is responsible that he doesn't act upon the impulses that come into his heart. The impulses that come into the heart, that he shouldn't act upon them. But because for this to happen, those impulses suddenly disappear from your heart, because that takes huge effort. That takes a lot of effort. It's not impossible. But we are responsible not to act upon the things that come into our heart. That's our responsibility. To get rid of them, that's a huge, that's a huge mission that a person has to undertake. So he goes, and this is what you have been commanded to do, that not to act upon the impulses. You are not commanded to remove them. Right? Because, and in your present condition, whilst you are studying, and you don't have the time to study, and also be worried about these impulses not to come into your heart. You don't have time to do so much mujahada on yourself, so much effort on yourself, that they are completely suppressed. That's why whatever we have asked you to do, continue doing. And whatever routine we have set you upon, continue doing that. That is going to be sufficient for you. But whilst you are doing that, just have this aqidah. What does aqidah mean? Belief that I am the lowest of the low. I am the lowest of all. Have that in your forefront in your thoughts. And also keep in mind your own sins and your own faults. Keep in mind your own sins and your own faults. And if your heart ever tells you, or if your nafs ever tells you that you're sitting with classmates that are from a different class, who are of a different more junior class, then give them more respect, give them more honor, give them more respect, give them even more honor. It's like everything that the nafs doesn't want to do, the teacher is saying you need to do that. But that doesn't mean that you need to make any extra effort in your effort that you're making upon yourself. It's just a matter of putting simple things in place by which a person can get rid of a huge disease such as arrogance. But then if you do get thoughts and impulses in your heart that are incorrect, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not hold you accountable to it. Will not hold you accountable to it. And remember, to act politely with others is in your ikhtiyar, is something that you can, is in your choice. You can do it, right? And if there is any deficiency in that, you will be held accountable, because it's in your choice to act correctly and nicely and morally with people, right? Because if you do just these few things that you have been asked to do, this problem will be resolved. It's a simple ask, but it is a difficult do. Simple ask, but difficult do. What did he tell him to do? Number one is just continue your ma'mulat. Astaghfirullah in the morning, astaghfirullah in the evening, Durood Sharif in the morning, Durood Sharif in the evening, muraqabah, whatever amount that the teacher has asked him to do, and recitation of the Quran, etc., etc., etc. Other than that, in addition to that, what did he ask him to do? Number one, let's go.
Humble yourself.
Humble yourself. Did you say that?
No, you
Okay.
didn't say the but.
Okay. I'm just looking at the words. Okay. What else did he ask him? But I could add that on. Okay. What else did he ask him to do?
Think of yourself to be below.
Okay. Think of yourself to be low. What else?
Do the opposite of what you're not. In this, like, sit with the.
Oh, sit with. So your nafs doesn't want to sit with the juniors. Go sit with them. Okay. What else? Remind yourself of your faults and your sins. Okay. What else? Allah, you thought I was just doing that? I'm not going to ask you. I need you alert. And what if the impulses come in his heart which out of his choice? What then? What should he do? Not, but then he's not really, Allah's not going to hold him accountable for it, right? What is Allah going to hold him accountable for? The way he interacts with people is a choice. If you interact, if you're harsh, if you like, what's the word I'm looking for? Harsh, rude. Continue. Impolite. You look down. You are impolite to people. Usually, that sometimes you are looking down on them, right? Right. Okay. Sometimes, right? It depends what you're impolite for. All right.
Okay.
Because if the teacher is harsh to his student, it's a different story. It's a different story. Just FYI. Khair. And what else? What did you just say?
I was saying, being arrogant people.
Do not deal arrogantly with people. So Allah is not going to hold you. Allah holds you accountable for those things that are in your choice. Is it in your choice to be kind, Mister?
Yes.
It is. Is it in your choice to smile?
Yes.
Is it in your choice to smile at me? Why don't you smile then? You're just saying there like. All right. Is it in your choice to smile at home? Then why don't you? No. I have to ask your wife. Call home and ask home. Call home and ask that how much you smile at home.
You never get the good answer.
That's why you don't get me to call. Look, you can't be like so like that all the time. You just have to you have to allow others to communicate with you too, right? Who's truth? Put your hand on your heart, right? Who can be better at home? Who can be better at home? Who can do better than what they're currently doing? Who can do better? All right. So that means that there is some room for improvement, yes. Right?
Always.
Okay. So doesn't your wife tell you that you should go to Tuesdays more because every time you come back, you're relaxed, you're cool, you're calm? No?
She listens.
She listens too? Oh, mashallah. Khair. That's why she like. All right. Look, guys. Let me just like take a few steps back. Let me just focus on something. The average guy that you meet in the street. Hey, what's up, man? Do you do that? The truth.
No.
Do you meet him with that face? Yes or no? But he's a stranger, man. You have no benefit from him at all, but you still smile at the guy. Yes or no?
Yes.
But now, your parents, your father, your mother, your siblings, your spouse, your children, you deal with them, interact with them all the time, right? But because of your interactions with them, you know so much. And like you're frustrated about so many 50 things, you forget, not that you do this on purpose. You don't do it. You're distracted like, man, they did this and they forgot to pay the bill on time. They forgot to do this. Like, look at all the mess on the floor. And like because they're around you, they interact with you all the time, the frustration levels on many, many different things wipe away that smile from your face. Isn't that true? Or am I just making excuses for you? Am I just making embellishing like nice excuses for you?
The nature, human nature.
Okay, so that means that where there is more interaction with people, there is high probability of the smile diminishing. Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
Now your nafs. What is your nafs? Where is your nafs in all of this? With a stranger, he's smiling. With those people that then he knows, and there's so many other things connected with those people, your nafs has taken away that smile from your face. What's the nafs? Where is this? What's it doing here? Now talk to me. Who's going to go on first with the answer? People at home can give me the answers too. What's happening? Yes, Adnan. Your nafs is making you numb, okay? Towards the feelings, all right? Adi, you're taking things for granted, okay?
Nafs is trying to protect you, but it's in a bad way.
Nafs is trying to protect you in a bad way.
Because
I gotta write this one down.
family is like always pushing on you, like to provide stuff. Sometimes you want your space, so like your nafs is trying to react.
Maybe your nafs, maybe you're thinking that if I smile at her, she'll ask for something. That's what you're thinking, yeah? Right? Okay. So maybe, listen, some people might agree with you here, but Allah Alam. But guys, I'm putting you on the spot because you're in front of me. They're in the same position. They're in the same position, meaning that they're also, everybody's doing the same thing to each other. Everybody's doing it to each other. They're doing it to you too, right? So now they're doing it to you, you're doing it to them. What's that going to, where does that go to, right? But again, what's the nafs? What is it? Put your finger on the, what is it?
Is it because you have responsibilities towards those people, towards the ones that you know? Strangers, you don't have any responsibilities. It's because you have responsibilities to these people. You're supposed to be, but now the nafs doesn't like the responsibilities.
Nafs doesn't like the responsibility. I mean, there's no wrong answer, but I'm looking for a more precise answer, yes. But there is no, nafs does not like responsibilities. Of course it doesn't. Nafs, your nafs might like 50 things, but what it is, yes.
It's partially like, the nafs always chases what is new, right? Or something that what is familiar, the same thing. It's whatever is familiar, it's like you take for granted, but whatever is new, the stranger, whatever, you smile because it's new, right?
Okay, and that's right. There's no incorrect answer.
I was going to say it's possibly your ego. You're not just stroking your ego.
What's about your ego?
Because you're like the breadwinner of the home, so you have all these responsibilities at home. So you feel like you have to keep this sort of.
But it happens even if you're not the breadwinner. Yes, Mr. Louder.
Meet someone new, so you want them to perceive you in a certain way. You want them to like you and like think about you behind it.
But truthfully, does your nafs not want your family? I'm asking you truthfully. Deep down in your heart, don't you want your family to like you? You do, right? Trust me. Men, do you want your family to like you? You do, right? So you do want your family to like you, but you know what it is? You allow the emotion of everything that's not right to overcome the good that you have to present to those people around you. A man, he's in a great mood. He's in a great mood. Absolutely wonderful. He's had a great day. Right? He comes home, the door's open, unlocked. The thief could have come in, man. Right? He looks in his mailbox, is full. Nobody even bothered entering, taking out the, bringing in the mail, right? He left a trash can outside. The whole day it's still outside. Nobody bothered. So like, he's like, I'm going to go inside and say, like, all that good mood is now, first he has to guy, hey, such a person, bring the trash can in. Such a person, how come this is not there? Like, you walk in, there's a whole mess on the floor, right? How come there's a mess on the floor? Like, this is day-to-day life, right? We allow the day-to-day life overcome us so much that the goodness that we have to offer, it doesn't even come out, because after that, nobody wants to be around you anyway. Right? So one person runs that direction, one person runs in that direction, one kid runs in that direction. And then, you come home, you eat, and there's silence over food because like you've messed everything up. Now your nafs is like saying, man, it's so like shit. Like, you're getting more furious, right? More furious, right? So there's silence over food, right? So you eat your food in silence, right? But you can't, and your little, the little boy inside of you is dying for attention, right? Is dying for the attention of like your child or your son or your daughter, like, and you're dying for your wife's attention, but you just can't verbalize it because you've messed everything up as soon as you went into the home. Because the moment you verbalize it, they're going to say, what? This is, I mean, if you like, this is not the, how come now? You couldn't, all that happiness you couldn't show when you came into the house, right? That's why the Prophet ﷺ has said that if a man goes into his home and he smiles, and his wife returns his smile, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive both of them immediately on the spot, because it's so difficult to do. It's so what? Difficult to do. It's difficult to put into practice. Understand? When you get older and when you don't have any fight left, right? Even the most bravest of men surrender when, eventually, when they don't have the ability to fight anymore, right?
That's why I smile all the time.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. But I can tell you, when you were young, but Mr. Abdul Razak, when you were young, I can, knowing you now, like just knowing you now, when you were young, you were a fireball.
Even though I smile when I enter the house, sometimes my wife asks me what are you smiling.
then you just tell her, listen, I was just looking for my teeth. Like, I was smiling. Who says I was smiling at you?
I said, because you're smiling in front of me.
Allah Akbar. Nafs enjoys strangers over one's family as there's no accountability. It enjoys those small happy moments with strangers. Family do not reciprocate to your feelings or emotions. True. There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. But really, you have to learn that you can't get triggered by everything. You have to learn to pick your battles. You see, like, pick your battles wisely, because everything, if you make everything, like, look, if I start taking whilst you're reading, if I take 100 mistakes out, it will completely put you in a state of despair. I only take the major ones out. You understand? And we'll worry about the small ones later. You understand? So, you gotta step back. You gotta step back a bit. You gotta step back a bit and really gotta understand as to, am I just blowing hot air? And that hot air blowing is of no use. Eventually, I'm going to spoil the whole evening. And you don't want to do that, right? You understand? How are you going to control yourself? And
treat people positively.
And what happens when you get negative feelings come inside of you?
There was the bar, but know that
just move away. Just leave the room. Go to your room. Move out of the area, because a person's at this moment in the initial stages, you're just not strong enough to do all the stuff. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. You'll be like getting angry and saying astaghfirullah. You probably break your tasbih whilst you're doing astaghfirullah, and you get even more frustrated.
And that negative impact from other side.
Khair. This was a miscellaneous answer, but we've answered it, alhamdulillah. Because the next question, we only did one. We spent the whole on one question. Then we're gonna do some muraqabah now, because some of you come from far, and inshallah, let's do muraqabah, sitting muraqabah. Everybody who's he's sitting here knows what muraqabah is. Alhamdulillah, let's go. Focus your mind to your heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And allow your frustrations to leave your body and your heart. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli. Rahmatika ya Rabb. Assalamu alaikum.